Welcome to For Ev's Sake with Carina MacLeod. On this week's episode, I chat to Gayle Telfer Stevens. So let's get cracking. Welcome, Gayle Telfer Stevens.
Hi.
Hello. Singer, actress, comedian, all round, just do anything, stick a broom up her arse, you sweep the floor at the same time.
I love the way you started with singer, where that's probably maybe last on the list.
I know, but that's probably what I know you best for.
How come?
Well, we went to drama school together.
Yes.
And you were at musical theatre.
Oh, yeah, of course, yes.
So I believe you can't remember that. So obviously that's maybe a good place to start. Mm-hmm. That we know each other for about 23 years now.
Uh-huh. I was counting it the other day, Carina. I was like, how long have I been out of drama school? And I've graduated 2002.
Right, well, I always remember the Queen Mother died. We were both down in London.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I think that was 2002. And
God, you're such a royalist, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I'm sorry. Believe it or not, I'm not. Well, I wasn't then. I'm probably more royalist now.
Oh,
no.
You've just scrubbed off half your audience.
No, that sounds weird, but no, I just like...
You have an appreciation? I like Harry.
Oh, no, he's adorable.
No, listen, I like Harry and Meghan because they're controversial and I like the way that she sticks up for what she believes in.
Let's not go there.
Right,
That's
okay.
a totally different podcast, I think. I just like Charlie because I know a lot of people don't like him, but
right.
Do you know what I mean? And there's always hope for the mistresses of this world. One day you might be queen.
Yeah, but he fucked Princess Diana right over.
I know.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah.
I mean, she was like a staple of the 90s, wasn't she?
Oh, my brother absolutely adored her.
Did he fancy her?
I don't know if he fancied her, but he probably did.
Uh-huh.
And he was just absolutely devastated when she died. He was like, no, I can't.
Lavoie on Drag Race, I don't know if you watched Drag Race, right? But Lavoie did Princess Diana in their cycling shorts and like going to play tennis and stuff like that. And it was so brilliant. Like this drag queen's so seasoned, right? But she did like a kind of parody of Princess Diana. And I thought, God, she was such a staple of the 90s. Do you know what I mean?
She was a massive, massive icon.
I know.
It was, watching The Crown, you realise.
Have you watched it all?
Yeah, I'm on the last season, but I think we're going the whole car accident and that.
Oh, really?
But I have to, I totally look at Mohammed Al Fayed totally different.
I know. I haven't read too much about that, but I think he's a wee creep, isn't he?
Well, he's a dead creep, so there.
Is he dead?
Oh, aye, Al Fayed.
Well, there's no point in that, is there? You know?
It's just one of these things.
I know.
Anyway, I knew this would happen. I know. We'd start digressing, but that's good. So where were we? Drama school.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, about 2002.
Yeah.
I remember crowded room.
How did I meet you? I was working as a waitress in a cocktail bar.
I'll tell you what it was. I was really good friends with you, the head of musical theatre.
Yeah, and nobody was friends with the head of musical theatre because he was quite intimidating and you were his pal.
I was his pal. And it was really weird because it was after I left drama school and I was going to his dinner.
And he had gates and all that at his house because he was mounted.
He had a convertible. Oh. And all night we drove through London with the roof down. It was absolutely amazing. That's never going to happen.
I just wanted a part from him. I didn't want to ride in his convertible, you know what I mean?
So he had taken me to see Assassins.
Uh-huh.
Now, believe it or not, controversially, although I went to possibly one of the best musical theatre schools in the UK,
uh-huh.
I'm not a fan of musical theatre.
Right, okay.
But I went to see Assassins. I didn't even know what Assassins was about. I still probably don't. I know it's about dead presidents, isn't it?
It's about the assassinated presidents of the United States.
So maybe there's a sequel coming up.
Maybe I.
So yeah, I went to see that and I don't know, was it a programme or did I hear your accent? It was afterwards in the bar.
Right, okay.
Or maybe Paul introduced us.
Right.
Oh, this is Gayle. And we were just like, this affiliation, wasn't it?
No, because I went, there was no Scots in my year. So, like, at any time you would, like, you really had nothing in common with a lot of them. Of course, like, as time went on, you would get things in common and you were spending a lot of time with each other, but you kind of didn't feel as if anybody really got you, do you know what I mean? And that's what I felt like. And then I met you, but I met you in the last, like, 6 months of my 3 years there.
Yes, because I'd already left and was, I was just living in London. Because, as you've pointed out before, I only did a year.
Oh, yeah, I did say that. You did a postgrad.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all right, though, isn't it?
I know. It was still expensive. Still paying it off.
Still paying it off. That was good times, though, wasn't it?
It was. And it made my life as well a lot easier. But so where did it all start for you? Obviously, you were about 18 when you went to Mount View. I was slightly older.
So I'm going to put this on... flight, sorry. So probably, well, I actually like Hogmanay there, because obviously we're just at the turn of the year. I watched the Steamy again, and it was the Steamy that I watched. Well, first of all, I watched The Wizard of Oz when I was 6, and I got my mum to copy down all of the lyrics to Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and then I watched the Steamy when I was 7, when it was broadcast on the STV, and I went, oh my God, like, what's that? And it was like, obviously, the way that your aunties and all the female kind of influencers in your life would talk. And I thought, oh, I really want to do that. And that was it. And I remember saying to my mum, can you send me to drama school? She said I was like a pushy child, she wasn't a pushy parent, right? And it was in the days of the Yellow Pages. And she found this kind of drama
3 days after going through.
Do you know what I mean? Like, do you remember that advert, the Yellow Pages advert? And it was like quite a soft one, but they're going through anyway, that was my mum. And she found a drama class, and it was in this flat in Hillhead, and it was right up the back.
That sounds almost creepy. You wouldn't do that now.
No, but so it's not creepy when I get to the end of it. So anyways, we tap on the door, and you will not believe who answered the door to me. Dorothy Paul.
From?
The Steamy. And she had she had a studio in her big flat in Hillhead, and she used to do drama classes on a Saturday. She didn't teach them. She had a drama teacher to come in and teach it, which I think is quite forward thinking, because it was like the end of the 80s, right? And she answered the door, and I'd been doing impressions of her for the Hogmanay to this end of January when I went to go to this drama class, and it was her wee drama school.
And how long? So were you there for like a certain amount of time?
So you'd be there for like an hour on a Saturday, and then my mum would pick me up and whatever, and then they changed to Woodside Halls, and they kind of get a bigger place, and then it just kind of spurred for there. And that was it. I mean, there's not really any other kind of thing that I wanted to do in my life, because it was so young. And I was talking about this the other day, and it was like the profession is so hard, because you're like, well, what else do you do? Because the industry, unfortunately, it's oversaturated. It's really hard at the moment. It's becoming quite, what would you say? It's like, it's difficult, right?
Well, personally for me, I think we're kind of moving away from people who trained creatively to the influencer. I was watching a drama the other night. G.K. Barry was in it.
Oh, was she?
And I'm like...
I don't know who she is, but she was in The Jungle, wasn't she? Right.
She's a podcaster.
Right, okay.
But I think it's funny because podcasters are going one way, but maybe actors are going the other way of doing podcasts. I think we're oversaturated with so much.
But it's like, I think that from my point of view, I think that I could possibly be that person who goes, well, they've got no right to do that. But then if I get any right to go into the podcast world, do you know what I'm saying? It's like an actor being a comedian coming into the act. It's like, where is the line? Is there any line? Like, should there be?
But I did that. I went from actor to comedian. It's easier to go from actor. I find it's easier to go from actor to comedian. All comedians aren't actors. All actors aren't. You say you couldn't do stand-up
No
comedy.
chance.
I find it...
I'd rather eat my own shite.
Oh, on a sandwich?
No, I mean, I would just take it on its own, because I would be actually petrified. I think what stand-up comedians do is so petrifying and so admirable that I don't think I could do it.
Whereas I would rather walk on stage and try and make 200 people that I don't know laugh than walk into a room of people who are going to meet me, you know, that maybe have a family connection. Like when I went to meet my husband's family.
Right, okay.
I was absolutely terrified. It was just like, it's the worst thing.
Right.
You know, it's like, no.
I feel like that about being married. So I can go out to an audience of 1,200, 1,500 people and not being not up nor down. Obviously, you feel a certain pressure and stuff, but you can really give it some. But then getting married and everybody looking at me on that day, I'm like, I'm not up for it at all. It's no for me. It's not for me.
Okay.
Not since hence I've not done it.
You're going to see Jack a fortune.
What, me? You mean me a fortune shop?
So after Dorothy Paul, were you in school?
I was in everything but the Co-op window.
Oh, right.
That's what my mum used to say. You're in everything but the Co-op window. And that was just it. It was just all my life. It's always been my life. There's not been any kind of like interesting story, unfortunately, behind it. Some people might find it interesting. I don't. I just kind of went, I really want to do that. I feel as if it's in you. I feel like at this point, if I could have been an accountant, I should have been an accountant, but I couldn't be anything else.
I know, but this is the thing. I don't know if you've ever had what we would call normal jobs.
Yeah.
Because I'm at that situation just now where I've come out of a job.
Uh-huh.
I haven't had anything for 4 or 5 months. And the pressure on me, not from me, you know, if I could skip around without doing anything.
Oh, we know, aye.
But
you'd be quite happy.
But the pressure from family to get a normal job.
Uh-huh.
But I always feel they don't understand.
No, it's a very unique situation to be in. And some people do go and get normal jobs. Like I had many like pubs. So I would run a pub. I did a call centre for quite some time. Then I'd go into the toilet and I would phone Jack and say, can I leave the day? Because I'm not enjoying myself.
And you know, remember we did a call centre job together.
I say, Carina, come on, do this call centre job. It'll be a laugh. We'll get paid for a week as well.
I lasted 2 weeks.
2 weeks? That was better than me. I just went,
You went on the first week. I stayed for another week of training with the products, remember?
Oh, aye, the products. But see, if you look back, these were really interesting characters. And I actually worked for a guy in John Lewis Direct called Rudy Talakia. And Rudy was an amazing, I'll always remember Rudy because he used to allow me to go to London for auditions. And he'd be like, right, Telfer, he would call me Telfer. Right, Telfer, I would say, I've got an audition. Rudy, and I think this is the one, right? It wasn't the one, right? Never ever got them, right? And I think this is the one, Rudy, so can you just enable that? Would you need off? So I say, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and he'd be like, all right then. And he really kind of supported me on that. And he was lovely. And we used to try and get things like words like ball bag. You would have to phone people for their deliveries, for their washing machine, John Lewis and all that. I used to like try and get my boss a Richie or ball bag or something like that into the conversation. Well, I had a great time with Rudy, but there was many other places that I worked that weren't the best. I'm trying to think about the worst kind of job that I had.
I worked in Debenhams for an hour.
An hour? That's ridiculous. You've got no commitment.
I'm serious.
You didn't get much of a chance, Carina.
No, because they had put me in Evans. Do you remember Evans?
Uh-huh.
And a lassie came in and she went, I want something that makes me look slim and I don't want to wear black. And in my head was that, how about using 3 stone? And I'm going, don't say it. And I just thought, no. And I was a big girl as well, but no, retail is not for me.
Trying to think if I did anything like, when I was at drama school, I used to, I seen it in the paper because we had papers in the 90s, right? And they were like,
we just don't read them.
Right, so you would fix the metal bits or buckles, glue them onto this belt. So I would get delivered on a Saturday about 300 to 500 of these leather belts, right? Probably no leather, with these buckles. And I would just sit and Probably what people in Sheen do, right? But I'm sitting putting the buckles on these products. So that was probably the worst job that I had, and then I just went, oh no, this isn't working. I think you got like a pence for every things like that. I think you get a penny or something like that for every belt that you did.
That's mental.
I know.
That's totally
But
mental.
I think that these they're not life affirming, the jobs that you do, but they are good for your character building. Like, you can't sit at home, like, you have to go out. Like, I would love to do something like with the homeless, or like to help people. Like, I'm really like, every time I go to a hospital.
Come to me, because I'm practically going to be homeless if I don't get them work.
But you know what? Every time I go to an appointment, like with my parents or whatever, I'm like that. I think I could be an oncologist today. I think I'd be really good at that. I'd be really good at helping people. And you think, God, that takes years and years of training. But likewise, so does this profession. And it is a bit, it's like everybody thinks that they can be an actor, a comedian, a singer, a this or that. Everybody thinks, yeah, we can do that. So there's not as much respect for it as what there used to be, I think.
Definitely. You've done, obviously you're in River City, you've done some films. But I don't know how many people know, but you've been in Doctor Who, and...
Years ago, though.
Yeah, I've still got that. I'm, sometimes tempted to sell that.
What, that
script character? There's a script that David Tennant...
Oh, yeah, he signed it.
I signed it.
That was my side,
I know.
Yeah, because you were obsessed with him.
Yeah, I was a bit obsessed with him. Well, I was obsessed with Doctor Who then, because I'd... But I wasn't, like... What are they called? Whovians. I wasn't anything like that. I was just, when he came in, I really enjoyed it.
No, that was a good experience. I mean, it was quite short-lived. It was only like one episode. It was a beautiful thing. I mean, could my career have went in a different trajectory? Is that how you say it? Trajectory. I mean, it was an amazing experience, and he was a really nice man, and he had a stand-in, but he never used them.
Right.
Because he would just come and like hang with us in the wee green room bit. He was lovely. He was dead nice.
And you also did Casualty. With a favourite actor of mine at the time too.
Tristan Gayle. She never stopped going on about me. I was like, who is this guy? Tristan Gayle's beautiful.
Oh, he was.
Where is he now?
I don't know. He's fallen off the face of the earth.
He was a good looking man, wasn't he?
He probably still is.
He's probably still doing it. He'd probably pop up one of these TV things, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Tristan Gayle.
Right, there's been a lot of stuff. Like, I did have a nice wee time, do you know what I mean? And then I joined River City 10 years ago, and I love it.
10?
It doesn't feel like that, but I do really love it. It's probably what I'm most known for, but I do really love it.
Actually, well, I don't know if you've worked in scenes with him, but I thought an old friend of mine had joined the cast for a while, and he's the reason I auditioned for Mountview, Cameron Jack.
Oh, he's a lovely boy, so he is. One of the good ones, I would say. Really.
And another pal of mine who I worked with, George Drennan.
Oh, Big George, I'm mentioning Big George the now. He's a good guy. I love him. And do you know what? No tongues. Because he's got his wife Nadia.
She'd batter you.
Well, I always say to George, it's free cheating. Get your shit together and slip a horn. No, I'm joking. He's so lovely. And actually, see when you're doing those kind of scenes, right? I remember like last season, so we're getting into a new season now, so we were quite nervous, you know what I mean? It's like, it's on the script, you've just got to do it. There's no intimacy coordinator or anything like that. It's just like that.
You not have one?
No, you're just like, right, okay, balls to the wall, let's get it done. And I was winding him up, and I'm like, listen, and we got on like a house on fire, and I said to him, do you know what? It's just about getting in and making it look good and having a laugh with it. And that's exactly what we did. And he's such a brilliant guy.
He's very fast-witted as well.
Aye.
Quick-witted is the word.
Aye. He's a good guy. It makes a difference when you're... I mean, can you imagine doing something like that when you don't really like somebody, or it's really awkward? You get 20 people watching you having an intimate moment, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I did a play where I had to winch 2 guys in the one night, and I had to slap one of them across the face, then grab him and snog him.
I bet you loved that.
But the thing was, there was one night and I didn't do the old warm-up, and I slapped him, grabbed him, snogged him, pulled a muscle in my neck, and I couldn't move. And I was just holding, going...
But you need to warm up your lips.
I know, it's weird though. I don't know. I've not had to do any kind of winching scenes since I'm married, because I don't know how Alan would cope.
Oh, Jack doesn't cope, but he calls me the shield inch bike. And I'm like, it's my job and I get paid to do it, so shut up.
I want you to talk about your dating.
Oh, my dutton. I was in this morning.
Not like sheep. But
I have a tub out the back. We spoke about this the last time. I've actually got this jacket, and it's like a Ditton jacket, but it's ED, Evolve or Die. And my sister-in-law has made this brand called Evolve or Die, and the premise behind it is some people live to their 71, but they die at 21 inside, right? So she's like all of like self-development and all this kind of stuff, and I'm really mad into it, spirituality, all that kind of stuff. And she's had these jackets done for the cold water dipping and dipping pods as well. She's done so well with it. And I have a bath outside, like a tin bath, basically. But it sounds so on glam mum. Hands in the black. I know. But I had to burst the ice this morning, but that's the best kind of dip. But I've been doing it since COVID, and I just kind of got a wee bit of green cheese. My pal was doing it, and I was like, what are you doing? I'm going to come with you and do this. Anyways, it does take a wee bit of getting used to, but I think when you're a woman of a certain age, you're going through the menopause, you're doing all that stuff, you're perimenopause, then you're in it. Like, it does really make a difference to your day.
Well, I'm transitioning just now.
I think you would love it. You just need to get in there and settle your breath, regulate your breath so that it's, I mean, it does take your breath away at first, but it makes such a difference. My breath away. So I go up with these steps out the house, right? Get into the tub. There's a wee hook. Jackie put a wee hook on the wall for me for my towel. Wee hook on it and just get in. Regulate the breath and then get out. And then say thank you. Thank you for the day. I was only in a minute today. It's -6. I'm not doing 3 minutes.
See, that's me just now. I'm not even feeling it. I'm not feeling the cold. I'm just like...
Oh, you would love it, because sometimes I get up in the morning and I feel a wee bit bloated and a wee bit, warm, like too warm, like that kind of way. And I'm just like, it's almost like the sizzle comes off me when I go in the baths. But it's something that I do in my life every day that is really been really beneficial, and actually something that I've been able to just do every day. You know how you get spurts when you go to the gym and all that, and you're like, I'm loving myself, I'm loving the way I look because I'm going to the gym, and then you kind of slide away from it. I do that every day.
I try and go to the gym 3 times a week. Now, I'm not pushing myself to look like a, Eastern European short put.
No, it's for up here.
It's for up here.
Aye.
Because I know people look at me and go, she goes to the gym 3 times a week. Right.
She's having her sale on. But do you know what? This is the point of it, is that it's so good. Why would I want to invent a tablet, right, to do all the things that make you feel good, right? So why wouldn't you why wouldn't you go to the gym like 3 times a week, or even that kind of way? Just do things that make you feel really good, because it makes such a difference.
I know, and I definitely think, for me in the last year, I had quite a lot of friends going through, cancer, various things, and you just go, your health, people don't realise how much your health is your wealth. I suffer with fibromyalgia, as you know.
Right.
And it's that kind of invisible. Nobody knows you've got it unless you're wearing a sign, get it tattooed, And then when you tell people about it, they look at you as if to go,
what, as if they don't believe it?
No. And I've spent my life with that, in normal jobs that I had, where I was so stressed, it cripples your body. The stress cripples your body. It's like, and I have arthritis as well. I find lifting weights really helps me.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh, it's incredible,
It's good for osteoporosis, because once you get into the menopause, that's what your body starts, obviously.
Well, that's it as well. And, my wee mammy had her first hip replacement at 57.
Wow, that's young.
Yeah, I'm 52.
Right.
I don't want to be crippled. She's 88 now. And, there's still a good wee tune in her. She's quite mobile, but she's very much slower.
I think the older you get, the realisation comes to you that, obviously, with this profession, like being an actor, right, you're always on the hustle to get to the next stage. It's like you get here and it's never good enough. You need to go further. That's really what I struggle with. It's like it's never enough, right? And you need to get to a place in your mind of this is enough for me, or the thing is, you still need to pay your bills, you still need to, you know, keep a roof over your head, all that stuff. So it is a really volatile place that we're in, especially with, you know, we've got influencers that are coming into play now. They're making a lot of money, but that's a real invasion on somebody's privacy. I feel like I don't think I could do that.
Right.
Just because, you know, there's trolls out there. I mean, I would be probably running at people's doors, kicking them in, you know, because people just say what they want to say, and I don't feel that's fair, but I don't feel it's warranted at all. But I feel like there's a certain amount of privacy that's given up for these influencers to show their whole life. But do you know what? I enjoy a right good scroll through TikTok.
Right.
I love it. I'm like that. It's called doom scrolling, and I love it. There's this girl
I don't
I'm following.
have TikTok.
Oh, it's brilliant. There's a girl, Stephanie Vavron, and I love her. I really want to send her a message and just say to her, I think you're amazing, because she shows all the difficulties. She shows all her bad days. She shows all her good days. Like, she's dead honest. But I don't feel that's for me, right? But there is a fine line of where, you know, I feel like in our profession, if you've went and trained and all the rest of it, you've got a craft, right?
Yeah.
So there's a certain craft to what you do. So can influencers transfer over to being an actor? And could I would probably be terrible doing a get ready with me and showing my life, like, because you would be performing, whereas this class is really real.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of her. Do you know what I mean?
But I find where I come from, it's so frowned upon.
Oh, is it?
It's a very Hebridean thing to just
Be private.
Don't self-promote, don't talk about anything.
Yeah. Don't rub your own back. Pat your own back.
God,
Yeah.
you know, so I suppose my generation, I'm quite a bit outspoken. And I know people do you know, I'm Marmite. You either love me or you hate me. People roll their eyes at me. You know, oh, Carina, it's her again. She's doing a daft video on you know, Insta, or, you know, as my mother would say, stop putting things on Facebook. You know, but I use Facebook and I use Instagram because of my work. You know, and especially for
but
something.
you are quite outspoken, but do you ever think like that? I mean, I don't do the FUD book. I'm sorry, guys.
I know, but I'm not out. There's outspoken and there's saying your piece, you know.
But do you feel like you always need to say your piece? Even if it's like, if it's about somebody else? Do you ever do that?
No, because I'll start a war. There's a few people just now who are just really rattling my cage with stuff they're putting on Facebook. And I just want to go...
In what way, though?
Well, it's just...
I know you don't want to get into it, but...
I don't want to... No, I can't even say, because then it'll give it away, but it just annoys me. But it's
why would it annoy you?
Know your audience, keep your counsel.
But don't you think in a way that it's like it's up to somebody what they want to put on? I just go like, live and let live, innit?
Yeah, but there's sharing and there's over. I cry not over.
There's not much that rips my knitting nowadays. I'm quite zen, actually. I never used to be in the car. Like,
no,
be
you
quite
wouldn't
hung up
in the
to.
car.
No. But when I'm up the park with the dogs, that's the most fights I've had last year.
Well, let's not even talk about
What I took the foot to my dog a couple of months ago, and I was on the phone to this Shane, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, Nessa, it was much worse. I was like, yeah, get your feet down and I'll knock you out. Honestly, people just think that they can do whatever. Love my dogs, 3 dogs, very protective of them. But I think that you can be outspoken or you can have your own opinion. But and
I always say know your audience.
Yeah,
but that's like comedy.
Yeah.
First, I always do is assess my audience. Well, I used to. I obviously haven't, you know, done stand-up for a couple of years now, but test your audience with a couple of, you know, sort of semi-safe jokes to see.
Oh, I'd give right in for the jugular. I don't know semi-safe. I'm right in there.
I've got this issue about people.
I'm for shock value. I love it.
I know, but sometimes it can go really wrong because... And then you go, there's no way of getting it back.
Aye, there's that, yeah.
You're doomed.
Aye, and that's the things that you learn as you're going along as a performer. That's the beauty of it, isn't it? I've learned a hell of a lot in the last maybe 10 years. And I'm very analytical now, and I think about why things work, why things don't work. And actually, it's quite a breath of fresh air to think like that instead of maybe living in your own head a wee bit, do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And actually not giving really a fuck about what other people are doing, because people will do what they want to do, and that's a beautiful thing. But you do you.
Yeah.
You do you, boo.
Okay. So, do you think when you look back to your first job, your first professional job, which was actually massive, the Jerry Springer the musical, wasn't it?
But Jerry Springer, the opera.
The opera.
Yeah.
That's right. That was was it at the National?
Uh-huh.
And that was
Well,
your-
they did the Fringe first. I did the Fringe first, and then we went to the National. But listen, Carina, I thought that was what you did when you came out of drama school. You went to the National. I just thought, I think...
Sure, I was going to the National.
No, but it's like everything in my life. I'm quite low-key about it. I don't go...
You've got an Olivier.
Yeah, but I don't get full of my own self-importance because I just don't see it. In actual fact, I'm quite normal in that way, but that was what I thought would happen, because when you're at Mount View or wherever we went to drama school, I mean, it was no question. They were like, you need to, be successful. You need to be on the West End. Like, if you're going to train in musical theatre, you will be in the West End. Like, there was no option. So to get into that was great. It was really amazing, and it was a great ride. Honestly was. I did the West End for a year. I had an 18-month contract, and then 6 months of it was in the National, which was beautiful. And then I went over to the West End for 12 months, and then I renewed as well.
So it was Michael Brandon for
And then David Soul.
David Soul.
Starsky and Hutch.
Starsky and Hutch. Now that's kind of my era.
Is it?
Yeah, that Starsky and Hutch for me, that's, 70s. When I started watching, when we had, when I was younger, the things I used to watch, Starsky and Hutch, The Professionals, things like that. But then, Lewis Collins,
My dad loved that.
was just like,
I loved Minder. What was the song for that?
I should be so. It's like sing the theme tune,
Right, brilliant.
Dennis Waterman.
Yeah, brilliant. And Arthur Daly, brilliant. It was that the character's name, wasn't it?
Yes, I think so. I can't remember.
I'll need, because sometimes I get my dad to watch Only Fools and Horses with me. I'll need to get him to watch Minder. I loved that. Saturday night it was on.
I know, Saturday night.
And Dempsey and Makepeace. So that was Michael Brandon, Dempsey and Makepeace. He was a lovely guy. And Glenys Barber, she was always there. She's lovely. She's a satin actress, her.
Have you seen her?
She's beautiful, isn't she?
Absolutely stunning.
Aye, she's gorgeous.
She's got good genes.
She's got good skin, great skin.
But comedy as well for me, I'm going back. I've got a really early memory of comedy. I don't know if you'll remember Dick Emery.
No.
Oh, you are awful, but I like you. And he was very much for a man dressing as a woman.
Okay.
Right in the 70s.
Very controversial nowadays.
Morecambe and Wise. The two Ronnies. Ronnie Barker, one of the most genius comedy writers.
Yeah.
Just things like that. That really.
I loved Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yes.
That's what I loved. And Roseanne. I loved Josie Lawrence on Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yes.
And you remember Tony Slattery?
Yes.
Do you remember him? I loved him.
I loved the big guy from America.
He was great, the big tall guy. He was lovely, the kind of awkward guy. He was amazing. All that. And do you remember The Word was on at a Friday night?
The Word, Terry Christensen.
Terry Christian, aye. Yeah, so that, and then Eurotrash was off with Lola Ferrari.
With the big boobies. They were massive.
I know, but wouldn't you seen things like that in the 90s? I love the 90s.
Who else?
See if I could go back, I'd go back any day. I'd love to write something about the 90s. Well, the music and everything, I loved it.
You're right, but you're that. There's not a decade between us, but it's about 8 years or something. But it's totally your era of music to my era of music.
Very different.
Yeah, you were all ravey, and I'm an 80s chick.
You had an 80s chick. You like a power ballad, didn't you?
I love a power ballad.
Do you know that look into my eyes, can't you? And Stevie's actually singing it because it's on TikTok, and I'm like, I sound like an old bitch. I'm like, that's an old tune. That was hurt when I was growing up.
1992.
To you, babe. That's when I went into first year. Oh yeah. And do you know what else was
it
big? No, Charles and Eddie.
I think so, yeah.
Do you know what else I loved? A la 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 long, a la 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 long, long, the long, long, long. Come on, or don't turn around. She got up. She introduced me as a singer. This is going horribly wrong.
Honestly, I do, but the power ballads, and then they're Celine was good for the power ballads of the 90s.
So
But you can't be a good 80s power ballad.
No, what's your favourite 80s power ballad?
There's too many. Richard Marx is there somewhere.
I love a bit of Mike and the Mechanics.
Traveling around.
Every now and then. About Bonnie?
Yeah.
Oh,
he was
she's
good.
brilliant, isn't she? And what about the power ballad? Oh, That Alone. Who sang that?
Heart.
Oh, brilliant. That was a great.
I loved their hair. That was the hair I wanted.
Oh, right.
I wasn't allowed it, but I wanted it.
It's like I wanted a perm and I got one and I just couldn't do it, you know, that way?
I had a perm in the late 80s, early 90s. In fact, I just put up on Insta last night a picture of myself and Ali McCoist, and my perm's growing out, and I reckon I'm about 18 at the time, and I just thought, I'm going to marry Ali McCoist.
Did you love Alan McCoist?
I loved Ali.
He was an absolute icon in the 90s, wasn't he?
Still an icon.
I don't know him personally, but
I don't know him personally.
I just mean, like, he was really massive. What was all that stuff about him going in the jungle? They were, like, desperate. Had he been offered it or something like that?
The rumour is that he'd been offered it, but they pulled out at the last minute, and then Barry McGuigan went in.
Oh, right, okay, but he did quite well, didn't he?
Yes, and he's a great singer.
They were good days. No phones. Like, what's your take on the phone? The phone crap.
I think my mum can't. Oh, you're on your phone again. These phones. Like,
You're on your phone again?
No, I'm not. Well, when people are in and that, I'm not on it.
Okay.
But it's great that we are. You know, when I was a teenager, you know, I've got a few photos of me, but nothing criminal. I'm just so glad we didn't have phones then.
So and actually see where Oasis are coming back. So the Oasis came to Balloch where I come for the renting, right? And obviously Balloch is like the next wee town to us. And they came and played there in 1996, I think it was. There was no phones, no nothing. It was just like amazing. It's like in the Liam Gallagher documentary when he talks about Nebworth and all that. And I'm like, this time they're just going to be like, I know everything.
And I'm going to be there.
You got tickets?
I got tickets
You
for
don't
it.
even like them? I do. No, you don't.
I do, and my husband's it's my husband's favourite.
Oh my God, I was kicked to it about 16 times, raging.
I got 4 tickets.
Did you? Where's the other 2 gone?
My brother and his...
No.
Oh, he's paid for them. He's paid for that.
Oh, get off him.
No. When we used to go underage with our wee carry out to the grounds, as it was called in Stornoway, you went out the grounds. It's where the castle is in Stornoway. Where you'd found somebody who was 18 to buy you a carry out.
Mm-hmm. You used to do 10 gulps and then 5 gulps.
What did you do?
Mad Dog.
See, we were quite sophisticated.
Were you?
Yeah, 1/4 bottle of vodka chased down with a can of lager. So you held your nose, swallow your vodka, and then a gulp of lager.
But that hit you like a ton of bricks. I'm just not a big drinker. And I wasn't really ever. I loved a party and stuff like that. Loved a party, but like the thought of drink just puts me right off. I like a margarita, to be fair, and a wee glass of champers. I love a champers.
I like a prosecco. I'm not a champagne kind of girl.
Right, too a wee bit tart for you.
Aye,
wee bit brute.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. Aye.
But I like prosecco. I love a gin. I love a good Island gin, Harris gin, Lewis gin, Hebridean gin, Rossi gin, any gin. Love a gin and partial to a bit of a tequila on occasion.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Well, I actually had a tequila years and years ago, right? And it was just near the Bells, and we had no lime or lemon to chase it with. So they had lime cordial in the house, and they went, right, okay, just take it. And then so what do you do first? Oh, right, okay, so you take the...
No, you lick the salt.
So I licked the salt, I took the tequila, and then I thingied the lime cordial. Oh. Well, I was like, whoa, 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 and I was chatting. And my friend's sister, Connie, came out of the bathroom. I just went like, bleh. And it was just before the Bells, and it was all over her.
Oh, no.
I'm sick of her, Connie. I'm so sorry, doll. She forgave me, though. She took it in good spirit.
Oh, dear.
I know. I'm not a big drinker. I used to go to a booze cruise. I met Jack at a booze cruise, right? And it was a tenner and a penny a drink. And then they quickly found out that obviously a penny a drink was a bit, too cheap. So they put it up to 20 pence a drink. And I used to drink vodka and orange, and I would just be like, go home at night and be sick down the side of my bed because
Orange, that's
it's so heavy.
Really 80s.
It is so heavy as well. But I just never knew what to drink, so I was like, a vodka or
Vodka fresh orange.
because it'd be sitting in your stomach that heavy.
My sort of first drinks that I used to have, and I can't even smell it now without getting the boke, Southern Comfort.
Oh really? We did many nights out and I would drink that. Nah.
And then I went from Southern Comfort to spiced rum, Morgan spiced rum, and I just...
Quite a 90s drink that one time.
Yes. And then started drinking gin. And everyone...
Jack Daniels. I used to be a Jack Daniels, yeah.
Like a GD.
Yeah.
Like a GD. There's something else I want to talk to you about, Gayle.
Yes.
And, well... It's not the elephant in the room or anything, but obviously, since I've known you, we've had a bit of a weight loss.
Yeah.
On the Ozempic.
No, on the Ozempic. Ozempic was new when I did my weight loss. No, I did lose a lot of weight, but people still go on about it.
Yeah.
It's a long time ago.
I know.
But it was probably the worst time to lose weight like that because I was on screen. And then I was just shrinking. And then obviously we would have like big breaks in the middle. And then I would come back and I was like, hi there, I'm a size 6 long leg. I was never a size 6 long leg, right? But my pal Alan J always says, Gayle, I've got this vision and you're stepping off a plane and you're a size 6 long leg. I'm like that, okay then. Because I just wanted to be skinny. It wasn't I wanted to be skinny. I had my wee girl and I was out gigging quite a lot and making ends meet and I was out doing the splits and stuff like that and I was shattered. See, before 4 o'clock, I could have slept for a week. And then Stevie was going to school and I was just like, oh God, I couldn't even run after her. We used to go to Bray Head, right? And I would be like, I don't want to put reins on her because I felt it was infringing on her human right.
Oh, exactly. Don't say that to my eldest brother. See when he sees
Reins with reins on her.
It's not a dog you have.
I know. And I was always quite against it, but I swear to God, like, she used to run rings around me. And Stevie's a great kid. She's a lovely kid. And I was has been. But she could run faster than me, obviously, because she was a toddler. And I would get into the car and I would just be, she'd be like in the back, chat, and I'd be like that in the driver's seat, with the sweat pissing off me.
I know that feeling just now.
And it was just like, I was so big. I was like, you would go to the slimming, so you go to the slimming world, right? And you get all the healthy stuff in, right? And I mean, I could have bought 4 wardrobes over with the amount of times that you get all the nice stuff in and then you get a takeaway that next. We just have a takeaway. It's like up here, the mindset is real, right? And you would go to the scales and the women be like, it's not good enough. You've only lost £1. And you'd be like, I've been fucking good all week. Like, I could pish £1. Do you know what I mean? Like, why have I not, like, it used to just frustrate me. But it's obviously what you're eating. Like, you've got to, like, not eat as much. And it's difficult. And a lot of people say to me, what is it? What is the secret? And I'm like, you do you. You've got to find your own self in it. And we've got all these things like Ozempic now and people are firing it out to Turkey to get surgery and all the rest of it. You do whatever you want to do. It just was like, it was a thing that it'd been with me my whole life. I was fat my whole life. I probably went to my first diet when I was 13. It's quite personal actually because people still like, whether you're fat or you're thin, I remember being the co-op and I'd lost a lot of weight and this one went, you've lost too much weight, you're ill-looking. And I was so shocked by the fact that she'd said it to me because I thought, when is it right to say that to somebody who's thin, who's probably still not happy with themselves, to somebody who's carrying weight? I'm like, shut your mouth, nobody's interested in your opinion.
I'd lost a lot of weight in my early 40s and I remember I got to the point where I was just shrinking and somebody said to me, I think I put a picture on Facebook and somebody made a comment to my mum that said I looked really ill. And then she was like that, is there something wrong with you? But that, it's a no-win situation.
I just feel like people have got too much to say for themselves. Like, I met you the day and you says you've lost too much weight, but granted, I've just
been very stressed.
Yeah, I've been stressed with like loads of personal stuff and I was doing 2 shows a day.
I didn't mean it in a bad way.
I know that, but
and I can say it to you.
Yeah, that's true. But people that don't know me often say like things that are quite below the belt, and I think, ugh.
Do you find,
Mary, that's not very respectful, you know what I mean? Margaret, get back in your box.
do you find though, having,
Attitudes have changed towards you.
well, yeah, work-wise, do you think it's, well, obviously you're in an ongoing series, but, you know, do you think you'd have, pardon the pun, but are the jobs more slim pickings now?
Yes, because I am of an average sense now. And actually, I always say, if I'm talking to my mum or whatever, and I'm like, see, if I was heavier, I would have, because the world's changed. So when I lost all my weight, it hadn't changed. And I remember going to a psychic, this is so weird. He had a dodgy eye. It was in London, and he used to look up to the ceiling, and his eye used to flicker away. It was a bit weird. His name was Billy, actually, and he said to me, you know, you need to lose weight. You don't always want to be the fat friend. And in those days, you were the fat friend. Do you know what I mean? There was even the serious about fat friends, which was genius, right? But nowadays, we are such a massive, like, well-rounded, pardon the pun, like society that we need to show representation of all shapes and sizes. Everybody needs to be represented. And actually, I am one of very many now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
And actually, I've just got a lot of like that. Like, I need a wee bit of nut and tuck. I mean, if you were my pal, you'd be sitting clenching.
Yeah, that.
Do that. Thanks so much. Is that better?
I do that as well. I got it that.
But it's part of aging, isn't it? But I think that
I would get to my age, and you know, as if we didn't have enough of a tough life, then we start to grow a beard. You know what I mean?
I'm not growing a beard yet, I'm telling you.
I'm just at that. I sit there and Alan's at that. What are you doing? I'm going to art, nothing. And then I'm like that.
No, I think that the world is a very different world, and actually it is difficult because, you know, you're up against quite a lot of like heavyweights that are getting a lot of better parts, that kind of thing. I'm very, or maybe I'm well known in Scotland a wee bit, but I'm not elsewhere. You know, it's just part of the course.
For me as an actress, because I'm in that, I'm not thin, but I'm not big fat.
Yeah, in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just feel there's never a box for that.
Yeah. There's probably never a box for anything, do you know what I mean? It's like, it's a very, it's a funny industry, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's getting weirder as well, do you know what I'm saying?
I suppose so.
Yeah. But listen, would you have it? Listen, you would have it any other way, but see when the opportunities are coming and everything's working in your favour, it's great. So what is it?
I'm still waiting for that.
Well, I know, but the thing is, your path's your path. You've got to go on your path. You can't look to anybody else and go like, they're getting this and they're getting that.
As my brother used to say, you have to play with the cards you're dealt.
That's it, exactly. Like, you're on your own journey. Like, the only competition is with yourself.
I know.
That's it.
And I think it's all about mindset as well.
Aye.
So what's the dream?
Probably a big, career-wise, a big drama. Like, something that's like, you know, I kind of just would like to be in the rooms with, you know, the ones that, because I know I can do it. So, you know, it would be nice to have a wee opportunity come my way.
Have you got a favourite actor that you go, I'd love to work with him?
I mean, there's many. I mean, there's that. I mean, the obvious one for me is like Sarah Lancashire, Siobhan Finnan, and like they're the heavyweights, amazing. Do you know what I mean? But they're in a good age bracket. Do you know what I mean? I'm way behind in that. Like, but I mean, that would be amazing. It's just to kind of branch out a wee bit. Do you know what I mean? Because I've been doing the same thing for such a long time, which I absolutely love, and I don't actually want to change that either. But it's always to say, you never stop wanting.
I know.
But in life, do you ever stop wanting? Do you know what I mean? It's like, are you just going to be happy with what you've got? You know what I'm saying?
I don't think anyone's ever happy with...
Well, I think when you come into this kind of industry, you're programmed in a way, hardwired in a way where you're always looking to the next thing. And actually, you would be daft if you just said, I'm just going to sit here and just take that. That would be nice. If there's an opportunity that presents itself, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just to be a working actor. I mean, I love the work of it, Carina. I absolutely love it. I love nothing more than being on set and having an intimate moment with somebody, like I'm having a conversation and actually portraying somebody, another life, another character. I think it fascinates me when I watch television and I go, I can never ever watch television the same again, because you're thinking, where's that shot from? Where's that? Where's that? And it's amazing, actually. It's a beautiful craft, and it's a very different craft from stage. And then stage is completely different. You know, I've just come off a job where it's all really big, really over accentuated. You know, you have to give. It's like the energy's different. That's what I would say. The energy's like 150%. And then in television, the energy's not any less, but it's a different way of putting the energy out. Do you know what I mean? So it's food for thought. It's quite nice to just kind of look at it in different ways. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But you know, I have to say, as I said before, many's the time I've known you for many a year, but, you know, a lot of people just know you from the telly, but you're quite a private person.
Yeah.
You don't quote celebrity.
No.
That's, you know, I think now with people, they want to go into television and to be famous. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, you know, being a successful actor or actress brings fame. Mm-hmm. Whereas people just want fame now. They want celebrity without doing anything.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's different now from maybe 20 years ago.
Yeah, it definitely is. I love the work of it. But
they like privacy.
Yeah, it ignites me inside, but I do like the privacy. For no other reason than I feel it's my job. If that's my job, well, I'm allowed to go. Listen, there's a certain amount that comes with it, and I'm happy for that. It's dead lovely.
Anyone shouted at you in Primark or anything?
I mean, when I go up to Clydebank, it can be tricky sometimes, right? But I'm all for that. Like, it's lovely to meet people that are so supportive and so lovely, right? When you get that kind of one where they say, I mean, I don't watch it, I think it's shite, but, and I'm thinking, well, what are you talking to me for? How do you even know who, like, why are you even addressing me then if you don't know who or what you don't watch, you know what I mean? So there is and I think that's a West Coast of Scotland thing where people don't like you get too above your station, which is fine. Well, I'm really boring, and actually I like my life with my 3 ducks, my lane, you know, that jazz, it's fine. And actually I've got very few, my walls are quite small. I quite like that. My walls are small, and I've still got pals. So when I went to school and all that, I'm very normal, I would say. And I'm very close to my parents, my family, and that's just how I roll. Aye.
That's the best.
I don't think you're going to see me on TikTok promoting a pair of Catch Me jeans is what I'm going to say.
Thank God I don't know what they are.
Well, it's just obviously on the TikTok shop, which is amazing, by the way. But, you know, I don't think that, you know, get ready with me. I'm just like, I look like a champ most of the time. I know put a wee bit of slap on the day for you. But, no, I am quite normal, and I like that. I just don't buy into the bullshit of all. When you go to a restaurant and people say to me, have you got any allergies? I say, yeah, bullshit. I don't buy into it. That's it. And that's the way I'll continue to live my life. I don't do bullshit. I'm straight down the line, and that's the way I'd like to stay.
Yeah, I pretty much say I'm like that as well. We're quite similar like that.
Aye.
And some people don't like that. Anyway, well, there you go. Anyway, thank you for coming on.
You're so welcome.
And
I wore my new jumper for you and everything.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It looks very salubrious.
I feel as if like I'm like a next mummy, you know, like a next model mummy.
Right.
Usually it's a striped jumper, but today it's like a kind of...
It's a wee off the shoulder.
Aye. So
thanks for coming in and sharing your life with us.
You're very welcome, and good luck with everything.
Thank you.
That'll be amazing. Watch the 3S for F's sake.
Yes, watch for F's sake.
Yeah.
And
this is a new journey for you, Carina. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, darling.
Yeah. Sincerely.
Bye. Thank you for listening to For F's Sake with Carina MacLeod. Don't forget to tell your friends to subscribe, share and rate.